शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
So we are continuing the session. In the last session, you will remember the last statement, Nandriyakam Ghadavijnanam Pramanaphalam. So that analogy is extended to the fundamental thesis of Advaita. Nandriyakam Ghadavijnanam. So when you separate darkness from pot, when you separate tama from ghata, then the recognition of the existence of the pot, ghata, is inevitable, invariable. It happens at the same time, and then it says, na pramana phalam. So, your recognition of the fact that there is a pot in the room, the ghada vijnanam, is not the result of any pramana, not the result of any tool of knowledge. Because your knowledge or tool of knowledge, pramanam, functions only to the point of removing darkness that stood in your way of realizing the fact there is a ghata. So this is a fundamental thesis. Now how do you extend it to Advaita Vedanta? In the context of Mandukya Upanishad, what it implies is this. When you recognize that this Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, the waking, dream and deep sleep states, when you remove these superimpositions, then the understanding of Turiya is inevitable. Turiya realization or the realization of Brahman is not the result of any activity or the result of any tool of knowledge, any pramanam. This is a fundamental thesis. Because if somebody tells you that the realization of ghata is the result of the light that you have brought into the room, then you have to admit that the realization of Brahman is the result of your sadhanas, your spiritual practices. Spiritual practices remove the obstacles, just like the light removed the darkness. Like Shastra Jnanam, all these spiritual practices remove the negative vrittis, vasanas, samskaras, leading to chitta shuddhi, which again invariably leads to jnana prapti and moksha. So there is no karya karana sambandha. There is no cause-effect link between our spiritual disciplines and our realization of Turiya. Though without spiritual sadhanas you cannot realize your Brahman nature. That is true. But then it is not a cause-effect relationship. The cause-effect relationship is only between your spiritual disciplines and the removal of the obstacles. The connection between light and the removal of darkness. That's all. not the revelation of Rajju or Ghata. So that is the important context. This is extended. Na taddudapi atmani adhyaropida antaprakyatwadi vivekakarane pravurtasya pradisheda vijnana pramanasya anubadatsida antaprakyatwadi nivritti vetirekena turiye vyapara upapattihi. So apart from this, we already discussed. Our identity with antaprakya, bahishprakya, ubheda prakya, prajnanagana, etc. Our identification with Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna. All these are anuvaditsida, means to be removed. Apart from the removal of all these, that is why, nivritti vetirekena, that is Veda nivritti vetirekena or Ajnana nivritti vetirekena. Apart from removing Ajnana or Veda buddhi, Pramana has absolutely no role in removing. Why? The reason is, we are already Turiya, we are already Brahman, even if we do not understand it. So the fact that we are Brahman doesn't depend upon our recognition of the fact that we are Brahman. The fact there is a Ghata doesn't depend upon our understanding there is a Ghata. The fact it is a Rajju doesn't depend upon our understanding of the fact it is Rajju. Even if you think for 1,000 years it is a snake, it is not going to be a snake. Bhashyakara has got many interesting statements. He says thousands of scriptures, Shatakoti Bhiruktam Chet, if maybe billions or trillions of scriptures may proclaim that, Akneke Sitalada, that fire is cold, then also fire is not going to be cold. So you can find many such statements. So that we already completed. Vyapare na vyaparo, turiye na vyaparo upapatti. Turiye na vyaparo upapatti means pramanas have no function in revealing turiya. That much we completed. Now continues. Antaprakyatwadi nivritti samakalameva pramadrutvadi bheda nivrittehi. So, antaprakyatwadi nivritti means bheda nivritti. Ajnana nivritti or bhranti nivritti. So, the moment this wrong notion that it is a sarpa is gone, immediately at the same instant, at the same moment, you realize that it is Rajju. These two functions go together. Similarly, when we realize that we are not Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna, we are not Bahishprajna, Antarprajna and Ubhayata Prajna, etc. or Prajnanagana, etc. The moment we realize, the moment we de-identify, the moment we separate ourselves from that notion, immediately samakalameva pramadrutvadi bheda nivrittehi. Pramadrutva means pramadrutvadi, means pramada, prameya and pramana. Because this is how we normally function in this world. I am a knower of things, I know certain things, and there is a way in which I know things or I do things. I am doing things with some objects. So these are the different ways of our identification in the Jagrat state and Swapna state. So all these will completely disappear. So the Suti has only one role to play. The Suti takes away the darkness. So Suti takes away the wrong notions, the Bhranti. Once that is removed, then the realization is by itself, because Suti cannot reveal Brahman. Why? Suti doesn't have to reveal Brahman. Scriptures do not have to reveal Brahman, because without the aid of help of scriptures, we are already Brahman. Only the wrong notions that we are Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, all these are removed by Suti. So that is a pramatuttvadi bheda nivartehi. Tathacha vakshadi jnade dvaidam na vidyade. So you find Anandagiri says, Asraya abhavena asida pramana abhavat anandarakshane tasya vyapara anupapattihi. That again is a restatement of Nantrigam Khadavijnana. Means Asraya abhavena asida pramana abhavat anandarakshane. So the moment that cause of misunderstanding, the adhara of misunderstanding, that is adhara of misunderstanding, that this sarpa buddhi, or maybe in the context of Rajju sarpa bhranti, sarpa buddhi. In the context of Shuktiga rajata buddhi. When the moment it is gone, anandarakshane tasya vyapara anupapatti. Then the jnanam doesn't have anything more to do. You bring light to the room, you understand that it is not sarpa. Apart from that, the light has nothing more to do. Ityatra vakyashesham anugulayati. Kimcha jnanadhina dveda nivurti avachinna kshanatirekena na kshanantare jnanam sthadum parayati nacha asthiram jnanam vyaparaya paryaptam. Now, Bhashyakara is going to introduce another important problem here. Suppose somebody tells you that after removing darkness and thereby leading to the revelation of the truth, then again the light has something more to do, that is, then the jnanam has anything more to do, then you know what happens? It leads to a problem, a fallacy. It is called anavastha dosha, ad infinitum. Because that understanding, that conviction, the intellectual conviction is itself to be transcended. Remember, when we experience the reality, what we call that is called aparoksha anubhuti, then our intellectual conviction regarding that aparoksha anubhuti has to be transcended. So there is a line of demarcation between aham brahmasmi buddhi vritti or conviction and aham brahmasmi anubhuti. Aham brahmasmi jnanam should be transcended to reach aham brahmasmi experience. So once we reach the experience, that state cannot be defined or verbalized either by any Mahavakyas or any Vedantic statements. So that jnanam itself has to be transcended. That jnanam has no role to play. So that is so you find Nanu jnanam dveda nivartakam api na swatmanam nivartayati nivartya nivartaka bhavasya ekatra virodhat ato yavat nivartakam sthasyati. So what reveals the truth, that conviction. See, for example, well, I can make it clear again in the context of Rajju Sarpa Bhranti or Ghata Vijnana, Ghatatama analogy. So in the context of Rajju Sarpa Bhranti, when you bring light, then darkness is gone, and then you understand it is Rajju, then your understanding, yes, it is not Sarpa, it is not Rajju. That is obvious. And again, that understanding, the intellectual cognitive vritti, is no more necessary, because the fact it is Rajju becomes so obvious to you. Similarly, when we reach aparoksha anubhuti, the fact that you are Brahman becomes a natural reality, so it doesn't have to function as an intellectual cognitive vritti. So intellectual cognitive vritti is necessary to remove the wrong notion that it is sarpa, bhuchidra, danda, etc. And then you bring light. Now you understand, yes, it is Rajju. Once you understand it is Rajju, then yes, this is Rajju only. You don't need that conviction. Even that jnanam is transcended. If that jnanam is again necessary, then there will be anavastha dosha. It has to be transcended by another jnanam. And then it will be transcended by a later one. So there will be ad infinitum. That's why nivartakasya jnanasya dvaita nivartehi anandaramapi nivartakakaram apekshya avasthane cha tasya nivartakantara savyapekshitvad adisyapi vijnanasya nivartakatva asiddhihi. So this is an important point. That is, as you, when we read the next lines, we understand Bhashyakara is introducing an important problem here, that if somebody tells you that the light has more to do than removing darkness, then there is going to be the problem that one after another there will be a chain of intellectual convictions which will come, which had to be transcended. So the first recognition itself becomes impossible. So now you can read jnanasya dvaita nivritti kshana vitirekena kshanantara anavasthanat. So jnanasya dvaita nivritti kshana vitirekena. So the moment Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, all these wrong notions are removed, then what happens, that jnanam that we are, we are not Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, we are not Turiya, or in the context of the Jisarpa Bhranti analogy, this is not Sarpa, this is not Danda, this is not Bhuchidra, this is Rajju only. That conviction, it doesn't remain there even for another kshana. Kshanandara anavasthanat. It won't remain there. Nasthasiri, that means. It won't remain there. Why avasthaneva? If it remains there, what happens? Anavastha prasangat. Then there will be ad infinitum. It will have to be removed by another conviction. Because you have to transcend conviction. You have to transcend jnana vritti. Then only jnana anubhuti will come. And when you get jnana anubhuti, the jnana vritti is not necessary. If you, since you know my name is X, I know it very well. I don't have to keep in my mind that my name is X. My name is X, it is so obvious to me. So the moment I realize that my name is X, then the knowledge or conviction or the intellectual understanding that I am X, not anybody else, that I need not carry all the time. Why? Because it becomes so natural to me. So that's why anavastha prasanga dvaita anivrittihi. Then dvaita itself will remain intact. Dvaita cannot be transcended, cannot be removed. Tasmat pradisheda vijnana pramana samaga vyapara samakale eva atmani adhyaropida antaprakyatva anartha nivrittihi iti siddham. This is the conclusion of the statement. Therefore, pradisheda vijnana pramana vyapara samakala means Nanda prakyam, Dagabhush prakyam, Ubheda prakyam, etc. What Turiya is not stated here, what Turiya is not is stated here. Just as you bring light, you get a full understanding. It is not Sarpa, it is not Bhuchitra, it is not Jaladhara, it is not Danda. Like that, Nanda prakyam, Bhush prakyam, Ubheda prakyam. So we are not Taijasa, we are not Vishwa, we are not Prajna. All these negations take place. After all these negations are done, then what remains is the reality. Of course, immediately you may gain, I am Turiya. But at Turiya, the Jnana Vritti doesn't have to remain there for another split second. It doesn't remain there because it is Swayam Prakasha. It is self-revealed. It is self-existent. Atmani adhyarobhita antapragnittvadi anartha nivrittihi. So all this bheda nivritti all will happen. That means jnanam and bheda nivritti, it happens on the spot. So that's an important thing. The moment light is brought, the fact it is Rajju becomes an immediate understanding. But so Bheda Nivritti immediately happens, Jnana Prapti also immediately happens. But in order to make it possible, we have to go through a lot of spiritual practices, sadhana chatushte sambatti, sravana manana nidhyasana, and maybe Patanjali yoga, samadhi, and so on. So according to Advaitins, yoga samadhi, the Patanjali yoga samadhi, that is this, the bija samadhi is only a helpful tool, is only a means for attaining chitta shuddhi or sattva shuddhi. It is not turiya anubhava. It is only penultimate state. It makes you ready, it takes you to the highest penultimate state of chitta shuddhi or sattva shuddhi. So what happens is, and for that we may have to work hard for maybe several life cycles. Maybe it may not be possible immediately. It is not immediate. For bringing light, you have to struggle hard. But once light is brought to the room, then darkness goes away immediately, and the fact that is Rajju, that conviction comes immediately. So Jnana Prapti and Bheda Nivritti happen instantly, on the spot, without a split second interval. But for reaching that stage of Sattva Shuddhi, it may take several life cycles of spiritual practices, depending upon the adhigaris. Now Bhashyakara is directly commenting on the mantra proper. The seventh mantra is the essence of Mandukya. After that is only further expansion. Nanta Prakyamidi Taijasa Pradishetaha. So the mantra begins Nanta Prakyamidi Taijasa Pradishetaha. Anta Prakyam relates to Swapna state. Taijasa means. Why? Because Swapna is easy to negate. If somebody tells you the Swapna experience is not real, it is much more natural and much more easy to understand. And once you understand the Swapna experience is not actually real, and then if somebody tells you that the Jagrata experience is not unlike Swapna experience, it is just like Swapna experience, then you will be able to understand the unreality of Jagat state, waking state. That's why the Bhashyakara begins Nanta Prakyamiti Taijasa Pradishetaha. Swapna is only one aspect of Turiya. That means in waking state we remember I dreamed. It means in waking state that Bodha is there. The Bodha is recollecting something that happened to us in another state. So, and now when we recollect it in waking state, we are not experiencing it. It's no more there. What we saw in the dream no longer exists in front of me when I remember my dream, which means obviously that is not real. So it is easy for everyone to understand. So the mantra begins referring to Swapna state at the beginning. Next is Na Bahishprakyamiti Vishwapradishetaha. And again this Turiya is not Vishwa. that is the experiencer of different objects at the sthula level, at the gross level, in waking state. Na ubhayada prajnam iti jagrita swapnayoho antaralavastha pradishetaha. Antaralavastha means mixed. So there can be different kinds of this antarala. It's just like morning and evening. So in morning you find a little bit of darkness, which is part of night, and a little bit of light also. So light and darkness combined, both at the dawn in the morning and also at the dusk in the evening, when at the time of sunset, is an example of antaralavastha. But in the context of Mandukya, it is Jagra Swapna is one kind of antaralavastha. Jagra Swapna Sushupti also can be antaralavastha. Say, for example, when we wake up, we may still remember that we were frightened when we saw a tiger in front of us, a lion in front of us, an elephant in front of us in dream. The fear may continue for some time, even after waking up. Actually, there is no tiger or lion in front of us in waking state. But we were frightened when we saw an elephant chasing us in dream. So the fear, shaking of the body, all this may continue, maybe for a few minutes after waking up. So that's an example of Jagra Swapna, Antaralavastha, mean mixed, both the properties, just like darkness, just like at the sunset you get light of day and darkness of night, both combined. Similarly, in what we call Murchavastha, or maybe in anesthesia, you find where you are induced to a state of mind which is a combination of Sushupti, Jagrat, Swapna, all mixed up. There is a Sushupti element in it because you won't experience anything in anesthesia or Murchavastha. But then it is not entirely like Sushupti, because Sushupti gives you a feeling of total, complete restfulness, a kind of inner bliss, tranquility, because in Sushupti there is complete Dvaita Abhava for the time being. Means you don't experience any plurality. So, but then the experience of plurality in waking state creates problems, bitterness, pain and pleasure and so on. All that you find in anesthesia or Murchavastha. Bhashyakara refers to Murchavastha, an induced, enforced kind of Sushupti. Maybe somebody knock you on your head, you fall unconscious. It is not a very pleasant experience. You don't have any blissful experience as in Sushupti. But you lose consciousness. So there is similarity with Sushupti, but there is a similarity with Swapna state, Jagra state also. So anybody who has undergone anesthesia, when he comes back to normal state or waking state, he feels discomfort, strain, very sometimes very tired and bitter and so on. Totally different from what you experience after Sushupti. So all these states are examples of Antaralavastha. I mean, either induced unconscious state, like drug addiction or alcoholism, can also create some kind of a murcha state, where you become unconscious. But it's a painful kind of unconsciousness, not like Sushupti. So, Bhashyakara says, na ubhayada prajnam. It is actually artificial. Even your Patanjali Yoga Samadhi is, of course, another example of Antarala Avastha, where it is actually you go through a lot of spiritual yogic practices and you reach first Sabija Samadhi and you reach Nirbija Samadhi. That is the yoga system. But that only helps you, that is a great help for eventually experiencing Turiya state. But it is not Turiya state. It is only a certain bhumika, as you call Sapta Bhumika, you can find the different Tantra tradition, yoga tradition you find. So, Bhashyakara says, Ubheda Prakyamidi Jagrita Swapnayohu Andaralavastha Pradishetaha. Na Prakyana Ghanam Idi Sushuptavastha Pradishetaha. Bija Bhava Aviveka Suruvattuad. Na Prakyana Ghanam. So, all these are explanations of the mantra bhaga here it is called. So, na prakyana ghanam means in Jagra state and Swapna state, Bodha is split, it experiences plurality and diversity. In Sushupti state becomes Ghani Bhava, it happens. But then it is Bija Bhava. Why? Because there is Chaitanya Spuranam is there in Sushupti state, and from Sushupti state we come to Jagra state and Swapna state. Sushupti state is characterized by Agrahana. Agrahana means non-comprehension of the reality. Non-comprehension causes wrong apprehension or maybe wrong comprehension. Anyatha grahanam is called. So agrahanam is the cause of anyatha grahanam. Agrahanam is the characteristic, the main characteristic of Sushupti state. So it is called the causal state. Means there is the seed of Jagra state and Swapna state. Sushupti state or deep sleep has got a seed, the causal form of Swapna and Jagra state. So it is called Bija Bhava and Aviveka Surupattuad. The Chaitanya Spuranam is there, but still there is no Nanatvam, there is no plurality. You don't see different things. We already discussed this earlier. Just like everything is Ghani Bhuta, everything is enveloped in darkness, so you cannot tell one object from another object. That is called the Bija Bhava Aviveka Suruvattuad. Na Prakyam iti Yugabat Sarva Vishaya Prakyatruttva Pradishetaha. So Prakyata is the word to be used. Prakyata means the conviction, I am doing this. This is the, in all kinds of experience and knowledge, we use the word I knew, I did, I went, or I didn't go, I did not know, and so on. So that I identity is called Pramata. So Pramata is associated with Prameya and Pramana. So Bhashyakara says the Turiya is not even Pramada, Turiya is the Adhara of Pramata. So in all kinds of cognitive functions, we have to use the word I, because we give a verbal form to our experiences of any kind of knowledge using the word I, because every experience, every knowledge is experienced in the context of this subject, I. Now, Turiya is not this Pramata, rather Turiya is the Adhara of Pramata, Pramanam and Prameya. So that's why Na Prakyam, that is Pramatrutva Nishedhaka. Turiya is not even Pramata. So The whole purpose is to remove all possible verbal or cognitive definitions or understandings or verbalizations of the reality. And when everything is removed, then what cannot be removed and what can only be experienced, what's beyond words, that is Turiya. So that is the purpose of this Nishedha Mukhavakya. Na prajnam iti yugapat sarva vishaya prajnatritva pradishedha. Sarva vishayatvam jnanatvam, jagrat, swapna, sushupti, in all these states. Of course, sushupti, we don't experience jnanatvam, but spuranam is there, bodha spuranam is there. But it is motionless, it is functionless. That is called that is sushupti. And in swapna and jagra state, nanatvam is there, diversity is there, plurality is there. We see different things. All these we perceive, we understand, we relate to ourselves. That is sarva vishaya prajnatritvam. In our ordinary human life experiences, when we do things, we know things, we always do it in the context of I. So the I is the pramada. And that pramada is sarva vishaya pramada. It is the one that knows everything. That I is not Turiya. But that I is founded on Turiya. Turiya is the adhara of that sarva vishaya pramata. That is the conviction. Here, na aprajnam iti achaitanya pradishedha. Now, this last statement, na prajnam, can lead to a possible misinterpretation or misunderstanding. Na prajnam. So remember, na prajnam is, it is beyond paramatrutvam. There is no absence of pramatrutvam, because Turiya is the adhara of pramatrutvam. But Turiya transcends pramatrutvam. You know, the adhara transcends many things. Adhara can accommodate many things. It cannot be exclusively related to one object. It is the adhara for every kind of paramatrutvam, every knowledge functions. So, na prajnam, this statement can lead to a misunderstanding. So, in order to avoid that misunderstanding, the next mantra bhaga comes na prajnam. It is not chaitanya abhava. So, chaitanya abhava nishedha is done through this statement na prajnam. Idi achaitanya pradishedha. So, what it means is every kind of identity, every kind of cognitive identity is negated in this mantra. So that is important. Now, after this, a possible doubt is raised in the next paragraph. One shanka. The shanka is this. Katham punaha antaprajnadinam atmani gamyamananam rajvadu sarpadivat pradishedhat asattam gamyate iti uchyate. So what is the question? The question is, Katham punaha antaprajnadinam atmani gamyamananam rajvadu sarpadivat. Now, if see, here the objector, the shanka, of course this shanka is a possible, is an attempt to emphasize another important aspect. It is not necessarily coming from a Purvapakshi. Now, in the context of Rajju Sarpa Bhranti, it becomes very simple. When you bring light, you understand it is not Sarpa. It becomes obvious. And after that, the Sarpa Buddhi completely it completely disappears from your mind. It's no more there. Or Sarva Buddhi, Danda Buddhi, or Jaladhara Buddhi, all these Bhrantis, Bhranti Darsanas, wrong understanding, superimpositions, delusions, completely disappear when you bring light and when you realize it is actually a piece of Rajju. Then you don't worry about, you don't think about Sarpa at all. But in the context of Antaprakyam, Bhishprakyam, Ubheda Prakyam, Prakyanahanam, etc., even after reading this, you still continue to retain in your mind, because you are experiencing things in waking state as Vishwa, Bhishprakyam, and you dream, you are experiencing things Taijasa. This continues. So the Shanka is, there is a problem in using Rajusarpa Bhranti, equating Rajusarpa Bhranti, or trying to explain Antaprakyam, Bhishprakyam, Ubheda Prakyam, etc. In the light of the analogy of the Rajusarpa Bhranti. So that is that problem. I mean, there is a Drishtanta itself is not accurate. That is the possible objection. So it should be understood very clearly in order to understand the coming statements. The problem that is raised is the Katham Punaha Antaprakyadhinam Atmani Gamyamananam Rajvadu Sarpadivat. These Antaprakyam, Bhishprakyam, Ubheda Prakyam, etc. All these are wrong notions that we have superimposed upon Atmani, on Atman. It doesn't, these misunderstandings do not disappear the way Sarva Buddhi disappears when you understand it is Rajju. So Rajvadu Sapadivat Pradishedhat Asattam Gamyadeti. So how can you say that this Antaprakyam, Bhishprakyam, Ubheda Prakyam, all these will disappear the way Sarva Buddhi disappears when you are convinced it is Rajju? It doesn't happen. Even after reading the scriptures, even after discussing, we still continue thinking that we are Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, we are experiencing things. We are the one seeing and experiencing different things in waking state, seeing dreams and going through the Sushupti and enjoying complete restfulness in Sushupti. That's how we interpret ourselves. This experience continues even after reading all this. It doesn't disappear the way Sarpa Buddhi disappears. So how can you use that Rajusarpa Bhranti equation or Drishtanta in the context of this Nishagamukha Vakya mantra? In order to clear this point, Bhashyakara answers, Yasarupa avisheshe api idaredra vibhicharat asatyatvam rajjado iva sarpadharadi vikalpa bhedavat. Nyaswarupa, what is Nyaswarupa? Nyaswarupa means it is the adhara of avastatraya. In the Jagrat state, in the Swapna state, in Sushupti state, in these three states, there is that Bodhaswarupa, the real basis of all awareness, undifferentiated awareness. That Bodhaswarupa continues without any change. Somebody may raise the question as it comes in next Puravaksha. In Sushupti, the Bodha is not there. Somebody may say because in Sushupti we don't experience anything. But there is an answer which I already referred to earlier. Even after coming out of Sushupti, we retain the memory of going through a state of blissful relaxation in Sushupti or deep sleep. So there is a connecting link between the waking state in which we remember the blissful state we experienced and the pramada, the experiencer of Sushupti state, which means that Bodha Spuranam was remaining intact without any change in Sushupti state as much as in Jagrut state and Swapna state. So, yes, that is why Nyasurupa Avishesha means there is no difference. There is absolutely no change. The same Nyasurupa, Bodhasurupa, Bodhaspuranam, that is really the same reality, that is Turiya itself. That is the Adhara, the substratum of all kinds of awareness. It remains intact without any change in the Jagrut state, Swapna state and Sushupti state. And that is the real definition of Satyatvam according to Mandukya. So Mandukya gives a much more comprehensive definition of Satyatvam. Normally, Trishu Kaleshu Yat Na Vibhijarati Tadeva Satyam. This is the popular definition of Satyatvam or Sattvatvam in Vedanta. Trishu Kaleshu Yat Na Vibhijarati Tadeva Satyam. I mean, the reality that remains unchanging in the past, in the present and future. Trikala. That is reality. That is absolute reality. This is the most popular but not the most accurate definition of Satyam. Because this definition relates to only Jagrut state. Trikala exists only in Jagrut state. Not even relate to some extent in Swapna state also. So past, present and future have nothing to do with Sushupti state. So this definition doesn't cover the whole Avasthatraya. Sushupti state is not taken into consideration. So really speaking, the Mandukya definition of Satyatvam is Avasthatraya Atida or Avasthatraya Abadhita. That which remains unaffected by the changes in three states, that which remains intact in all the three states. That is the definition of Satyatvam in Mandukya context. So that should be understood. So that's why the Jnaswarupa, this Bodhaswarupa remains the same in the Jagrut state, Swapna state and Sushupti state. Itaredhara, so Jnaswarupa Visheshe api Itaredhara Vivicharat Asatyatvam Vidyodaiva. So what it means is this, so Jnaswarupa here should be understood as the Adhara of Avasthatraya, Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti state. The one supreme witness, the reality, the Turiya which is present in all the three states. And it remains Avishesha, it remains without any change, without any modification. It is unchangeable, unchanging. At the same time, with regard to Vishwa Taijasa Prajna experiences, there is Idaredhara Vibhichara. Idaredhara Vibhichara means what is found in one state is not found in another state in the same manner. The Idaredhara Vibhichara also is the real definition of Mithyatvam. So that should be understood. So Jnaswarupa is the real Avasthatraya Abadhita, Avasthatraya Atita. Remain the same in all the three states without any change. That is the definition of Satyatvam, and Mithyatvam should be understood as Idaredhara Vibhichara. whatever changes from one state to another state, it is found in Jagra state, but it is not found in the same manner in Swapna state, and it is not at all found in Sushupti state. So it is called Idaredara, means Idaredara Bheda, Idaredara Vibhichara. Between the three states, there is difference with regard to Antaprakya, Bahishprakya, Ubheda Prakya, etc. Antaprakya, Taijasa is different from Vishwa, Bahishprakya. And then both are different from Prakyana Ghana in Sushupti state. And again, Ubhayata Prakya is also different. So, there is Idaredra Vibhichara with regard to Antaprakyam, Prakyam, Ubhayata Prakyam, etc. Just like Rajvado Iva. Just like Rajju. So, when you see Rajju, one person may think it is a snake, another person may think it is a danda, a stick, another person Jaladhara, a water line, another person may think it is a bhuchidra, crack on the floor. So you find four people having four different superimpositions, four different bhandis or delusions focused on the same one single object, and that object remains unchanging. The Rajju is the same. Same Rajju is mistaken to be Sarpa, Bhuchidra, Rajju, etc. Similarly, the same Turiya is mistaken to be Antaprakya, Bahishprakya, Ubhayata Prakya, etc. Therefore, the Drishtanta or Rajusarpa Bhranti to explain the Bhranti of or the delusory nature, the illusory nature of Antaprakyam, Bahishprakyam, Ubhayata etc. is perfectly okay, alright. That is the reply. Because the original objection was the two examples, the two contexts do not tally. The Rajusarpa Bhranti is quite obvious, because when the moment you bring light, Sarpa is gone. You don't have that problem any longer. That is, so this analogy doesn't work in the context of Antaprakya, Bahishprakya, Ubhayata Prakya, etc. So Bhashikara replies, that is not the criterion. The criterion for deciding the reality and the unreality is the reality should remain the same, Nyaswarupa Avishesha. That bodha, that one's own real Swarupa, that remains, that is the Athara, that remains the same in Jagra state, Swapna state and Sushupti state, in Antaprakya, Bahishprakya, Prakya, Prakyanaghana, etc. But at the same time, the Antaprakyatam, Bahishprakyatam, Ubhayata Prakyatam, etc., these are different experiences. They change. Between them, mutual change is there. That's called, Itaredara Bheda, Itaredara Vibhichara. Vibhichara means change. Between them, there is change. And what changes, what is not found in one state, but found in another state, it cannot be real in the absolute sense of the term. Therefore, the analogy is perfectly works, just like Rajju is mistaken to be Sarpa, Bhuchidra, Danda, etc. Similarly, the same Turiyajna Swarupa in the context is misunderstood and misinterpreted to be Antaprakya, Bahishprakya, Ubhayata Prakya, etc. Therefore, the analogy is perfectly alright. Idaredira Vibhicharat Asatyatvam. Asatyatvam, that means Antapraknyadinam Asatyatvam. That's the meaning here. Rajvado Iva Sarpadharadi Vigalpa Bhedavat Sarvatra Avibhijarad Yasarupasya Satyatvam. So that I already explained. Sarvatra Avibhijarad means everywhere in all the three states, Yasarupa, the Bodha Sarupa, it remains unchanging. No Vibhijara, no change, no differentiation. Yasarupasya Satyatvam. So, Mithyatvam should be understood as Idaredara Bheda or Idaredara Vibhichara. It is found in one way in one waking state, but differently in Sukna stage. So remember, Mithyatvam doesn't mean non-existent. Mithyatvam only means something which changes from one state to another state. And Satyatvam means something that remains the same in the three avasthas, avastatraya. So that's the real meaning here. Of course, there is another Shanka. Okay. Susupte Vibhijarati iti chet. Now somebody may ask this question. In Susupti state, this Nyat is not there. Susuptasya anubhuyamanatvad naki vijñātuka vijñātehi vibarilopo vidyate iti Brihadaranyaka Shruti. So the point is, Susuptasya anubhuyamanatvad. We already, though we are not aware of Susupti state when we are in Susupti state, still when we come out of Susupti state into waking state, then we realize that we had Susupti state. Means the aham sukham aswapsam. Means that blissfulness, the relaxation that we felt during Susupti, that is recollected in waking state. Therefore, there is that Bodha Swarupam which is recollecting in waking state what it had experienced, what it went through in Susupti state. So it was present in Susupti state also. So that is the Susupte Avyabhijaran Asiddhim Shankate. That natatra. That's a Shanka means Susupti. In Susupti there is a Vyabhijara, that is a wrong misunderstanding by another school of thought. So Bhashyakara is Susupti also. The Nyaswarupa remains without any change, it remains intact. That Bodha Swarupa, Bodha Spuranam is already present in Susupti state. That's why we are able to recollect Susupti state even after coming out of it. So we'll continue the next session.
Om Shanti Shanti.